What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Erika Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The Asian American gunman who killed one person and injured 5 others in a shooting spree in Southern California felt hatred towards Taiwanese people. That's according to United States police officials. The 68-year-old, who is now in police custody, carried out his attack inside a church after chaining the doors shut and putting superglue in the keyholes. Bing Wang reports.
Once a church for community, now a crime scene. This after a person opened fire on this California church, where most of the congregation are elderly Taiwanese. The shooter wounded 5. Dr. Zhang Cheng was the only one who died. He tackled the shooter and was shot. Police say without his actions, more people would have been hurt. The suspect in custody is a resident of Las Vegas. Authorities say he drove almost 300 miles to reach the church. After the attack, police found notes written in Mandarin that indicated the suspect was motivated by politics.
I believe his hatred of Taiwan manifested when he was residing there in previous years, possibly in his youth. He was not well received while living there, according to what we believe we've collected so far, and that's manifested into this hatred. And it's combined with the political environment of his hatred of the Taiwanese people between the China and Taiwan tensions that are currently occurring.
Initial reports say that the suspect's parents immigrated from China to Taiwan around 1949, along with 2 million others, after the Kuomintang or KMT lost the Chinese Civil War. He later moved to the U.S. and became an American citizen. Officials say the parishioners had already subdued the suspect before they arrived.
We believe a group of churchgoers detained him and hogtied his legs with an extension cord and confiscated at least 2 weapons from him.
The shooting sent shockwaves in what is largely known as a safe community.
Yes, there's a lot of Taiwanese Asian people around in Irvine and Laguna Hill, okay, and but usually, you know, especially this church has been there for a while, okay, and we have never hear anything happen like this.
In Taiwan, President Tsai offered her condolences in a tweet saying, "I want to convey my sincere condolences on the death of Dr. Zhang Cheng and my hopes for a prompt recovery for those injured in the shooting at the Irvine Taiwanese Presbyterian Church in California. Violence is never the answer." For many immigrants, the church is a space for community, to connect with other immigrants struggling with the same experiences. While this shooting may have damaged a sense of safety, the community says they will come out stronger. Piper Yu and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
To learn more about the Taiwanese church shooting in the United States, TaiwanPlus reporter Bing Wang spoke to a Taiwanese American activist, Tim Zhen. They began by talking about what the church meant for the local community.
The Laguna Wells community is actually one of the very expensive communities in Orange County. And the Taiwanese community that attends this church often are extremely wealthy. Like Dr. Zhang Cheng comes from a family of doctors. I think his father was a doctor from Kaohsiung. And so they're wealthy, and they actually are very pan-green, pro-Taiwan, and have given very generously to support Taiwan's democracy and independence.
Can you give a little bit of context on how Taiwanese Americans use the church as a safe haven for community?
One of the first immigrant gathering organizations was an organization called the Taiwanese Association of America. And the Taiwanese Association of America was was a social gathering place specifically to nurture the Taiwanese community. So that this umbrella organization had over 60 chapters in every major city in the United States, where people would come together for karaoke, they would come play softball, they would also just get network and support each other. And the Taiwanese Christian organizations would also participate in the Taiwanese associations, and they would actually organize themselves for political reasons to push for self-determination and human rights in Taiwan. And so a lot of fundraising happened through the Taiwanese associations. Now, as we know, the Taiwanese Presbyterian Church was always very active in Taiwan's democratic process. So the Taiwanese Christian churches also were organizing their communities and provided immigrant support within their church groups.
A Polish delegation of trade officials and business representatives is in Taiwan to talk with local business and science leaders. The group, led by Poland's Deputy Minister of Economics, Grzegorz Poczałwiak, arrived on Monday for a 3-day visit. They will attend economic forums around the country. The director of the Polish office in Taipei says the goal of the trip is to pave the way for more business cooperation and investment in the future. Taiwan's legislature has passed an amendment that will pave the way for a new Transitional Justice Office. The head of the Transitional Justice Commission, Chen Yufan, says it's a milestone in Taiwan's democratic development.
转会是一个任务型的机关，那我们任期到了，规划完成后，就移交将由这些部会共同来推动落实整个转型正义的工作。
One of the main goals for the office is to restore justice to people whose human rights were violated. That covers people affected during Taiwan's martial law era from 1949 to 1987 and beyond. The amendment doubles the compensation for families of people who died during the period to $400,000 US. The changes also make it possible to return confiscated property to the victims. Taiwan is becoming more accepting of the LGBTQ citizens. That's according to a report released by leading LGBTQ rights organization Taiwan Equality Campaign. The report marks Tuesday's International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. A poll of 1,000 people in Taiwan found support has increased for LGBTQ rights, such as same-sex couples adopting children. A clear majority also said they could accept their child coming out as gay. 59% of respondents this year, compared to just 49% in 2020. We spoke to Joyce Tang, Deputy Executive Director of the Taiwan Equality Campaign and a contributor to the report. We asked her what Taiwan's role is in changing attitudes in Asia toward LGBTQ people.
Could you give us a feel for how the fight for marriage equality in Asia is going and what role Taiwan is playing as a leader in this?
We've communicated with the other activists from different countries in Asia, and I think they start their journey with us and still fighting now. I think when Taiwan is the first country in Asia legalize same-sex marriage, there will be less excuse for the government to refuse or to say that LGBTQ is not belong to Asia. It's not our tradition, because we prove that we do live in Asia and live in Taiwan, but we still can pass same-sex marriage, and it do become our daily life.
A baby giraffe at San Diego Zoo in California has been given life-saving treatment to correct a birth defect. Situni is a 3-month-old female calf. She was born with a bone disorder that makes it difficult to stand and walk. The zoo ordered a custom leg brace for her from a company that usually makes prosthetics for humans. The zoo says the brace is a success and Situni can now walk and stand again. She has since been officially introduced to the rest of the herd at the zoo's safari park. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, today, we leave you with images of artists in Gaza painting huge murals of the slain Al Jazeera journalist Shireen Abu Akleh on the city walls. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.
In a changing world, when voices are being silenced, TaiwanPlus is listening. We tell those stories. No compromise, no boundaries,
people in Taiwan.
no fear.
I want to study Chinese. I'm Ryan Kilpatrick.
Capital Taipei.
TaiwanPlus.
TaiwanPlus News.